Early morning mob.
In the window,
Early morning mob.
and pass over, bend around me.
Early morning mob.
Criptoknight bullet. He's in prison for putting Superman in the ICU with a Criptoknight bullet.
Early morning mob, Capo. This show is amazing. I've checked it out a couple of times, and I would recommend all our friends and fans do give them a listen. They do such great work, and I'm really proud and again grateful to be able to be a part of the show.
All righty.
How's everybody doing?
Not too bad.
Pretty good.
All right, so what's the name of your band?
Mortica.
Mortica.
How did you come up with the name?
Made it up.
Nothing wrong with this?
A long series of trial and error, trying to come up with a band name that was something we could all agree upon. And it doesn't really mean anything, but it was something we all kind of liked. The word kind of has a vibe, and the vibe works with all four of us.
Yeah, coming up with something original, that was the problem. And
Yes.
looking up bands, and you're like, oh, no, that name's taken. Oh, that name's taken.
Well, you'd be surprised when I ask that question. Sometimes they're simple, and you would think that it's the surface answer why they named it that, and it's
Right.
not. So I think it's interesting sometimes maybe how you named it. Do you think that maybe it describes maybe your music? Is your music a little more hard and edgy?
I would say so.
To a degree, yeah,
I would think so, yeah.
It's metal with a pop edge.
Yeah. So how did you guys form?
We were actually a different unit. Our friend Bill here had a whole entire different unit. Then they hired Mr. Joe here. A few disagreements, creative differences, people parted ways. Mike and I auditioned, and we were both brought in the band as a 5-piece. Mike here is a multi-instrumentalist. We were brought together as a 5-piece. The fifth member, again, creative differences, we moved on. He graduated to drums, and now we are a 4-piece, so we've been together since June of 21.
Yeah.
Or 22. What year is it?
22.
2022.
I've been dead a long time, I can't.
Music is always like a working art in progress. It's never like finished to me, and that's the same thing with a band or anything, you know.
That's
So
right.
me and Frank, I do a lot of his production and stuff. He does the rap and everything, and then he does this promotions and stuff on the side. And it's hard to even have two people do that for a long time, you know what I mean? So yeah. So what does everybody do individually in the band?
I played
You
drums.
kind of said it, but
Yeah, I'm a bass player.
okay.
I've been playing since 1980. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a drummer. I've been playing since I was 3, and I'm 19 now. And I play drums, do some backup vocals, and help write songs and contribute to this band as a whole.
I am a 200-year-old dead guy, so I don't know why anyone's wondering when I was around. But I contribute most of the lyrics.
Yes.
I think some of the new material that's coming out now, Mike contributed a good amount of vocals to that, or lyrics to that. But for the most part, I am vocals and a little bit of the lyrics as well. I bring the flash and flare.
Yeah, so you've been singing for, you could say, a very long time.
A very long time.
Very long time. Since the Victorian era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm slumming it right now.
So I am the guitar player and representative goofball of the group. I also contribute to the writing process as far as not lyrics, but the composition, building the foundation, the chord progressions, the riffs, things like that.
Yep. The rhythm, the beat.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Social media as well.
That as well. Yeah.
It's the digital world, and when we got time on our hands, we like to contribute to the digital space. So Joe has been kind
You
enough.
might
to
as well
lend
be
his
living in
service.
the Matrix at this point.
Yeah, it's getting there, but it's gotten Mortica some pretty positive attention. A lot of the mortals that are down there ready to listen to us have shown up strictly because of social media. So, we're very happy to be a part of it, and Joe's very good at handling that, and so that's another attribute of his contribution. So
I try my best.
Any publicity is good publicity.
absolutely.
Nowadays, you have to wear many hats, especially when you're not when you're independent. The more hats you wear, the more you're going to be able to progress.
Absolutely.
Is everybody from Connecticut?
Yes.
Yes.
Originally, no,
originally
but
no.
for the
Right,
last
yeah.
20 plus years.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what part of Connecticut are you guys from?
I'm from the Oxford area.
I'm East Granby.
Windsor.
Okay.
New Milford. We're
So does that pose challenges to when you guys jam out and stuff?
nothing we haven't been able to overcome. It's certainly, it's never ideal when you're super spread out.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing. So,
Absolutely.
every now and then we run into a hurdle, but the four of us, we care a lot about what we're doing, so we make it happen.
I do
No matter
construction as the main gig that I do, and if you can't drive like within an hour and 30, 40 minutes throughout this whole damn little state, then there's
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
So shouldn't be that bad.
Communication is number one with us.
And again, the Matrix.
Right. Yes.
Right.
We have no problems telling somebody, hey, listen, that's just too out of the way.
Sure.
But when we meet, magic happens, and so we decided that the however long drive to either to gig or perform together or rehearse or just
Worth
to have dinner and
yeah.
is well worth it.
Yeah,
we're,
maybe
we're more than
it
just a
makes the
band.
time together more special too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. So how did everybody get into music separately?
I got into music basically, my parents gave me a cassette player and I would listen to all their old cassette tapes, and that was how I developed my early style, and eventually I started going out finding bands of my own through through YouTube and whatnot, and I wanted to play drums, I wanted to play guitar, so I play both, and I just happened to play drums in this band, and eventually I met these guys, and now I'm here.
Parents' influence is pretty big when it comes to music, I guess.
I lived way out in the woods by myself, and I with my parents back in the day. And when I started listening to music full time, getting more and more into it, I decided I liked a heavier edge, and I would stay out in my room in the woods of my parents' house and just practice to the radio and whatever was on. And then as I got more and more involved into it, because of the time frame that I was playing, started the 80s hair metal, started phasing in, and it phased into thrash, hardcore, and then on and on and on. And as it got heavier, I just liked it more and more, so I just kept progressing heavier and heavier over the years. I'm a little bit older now, so this is perfect for me. Got a good band, solid band, some good guys, and they're
So music kind of became a friend in a way then.
for me,
Yeah, for me too as well. That's kind of why I got into music as well too. I was an only child, so
Yeah,
it
it's
became
me too,
kind of
that's
like
why.
a friend, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, I grew quite fond of listening to violins and banjos and harpsichords and things of that nature. But as time went on, as my skin started to fall off and things like that, I started getting into, like Bill said, that it just became, what is that? And then I went, well, what's an offshoot of that? And then it became, I want to get involved in what that's doing. I remember the year, it was 1997. A nice mortal introduced me to Aerosmith's 9 Lives for the first time. And I have been actively trying to be involved in a unit such as Aerosmith, and maybe come close if I can, but performance and showmanship has always been up there, as well as just making the best music I can. So a long time I've been pursuing this thing, but that's how I got into it, that first signature scream of Aerosmith's 9 Lives.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the exact year, but I do remember the exact song that I heard. It was Van Halen's "Ain't Talking About Love."
Oh,
that intro with the guitar with the flanger. I heard that, and I said, whatever the hell that was, I gotta do that, right? And it started again. I was just a little kid. It was very superficial. If I play guitar, I'll be real cool, and everybody's gonna like the cool guy who plays guitar, right? Simple, childish endeavors. But it slowly became, as life got a little bit more complicated as you grow up, you start to realize, things are different. You got to deal with certain things, and the music that I had learned how to play became my way to actually handle those things. And I think that's kind of universal for everybody who really gets
Yes.
deep into this, especially, you know, the four of us.
Yes.
It's music is much more important than just being the cool guy on stage.
Yeah, I think, well, Eddie Van Halen's definitely one of my favorites, too.
Yeah.
I think that's what we'll get into.
Okay.
And yeah, fucking, the way that guy just rocked out.
One of a kind. One of a kind.
Mesmerizing. You
Yeah.
know, and one of a kind, but I think he made it look easy, too. Is
Right.
kind of what it is, too.
Yeah.
So what are your guys' musical influences?
Well,
Boy.
mine started out as hair, and as I said, I kind of just evolved into the harder and harder as it went through thrash back in the late 80s and early 90s, back into there. I wasn't really much into the grunge scene because I was into heavier stuff, you know. And then, of course, got into the black metal and the new metal and rapcore and all that started coming out. And, you know, some of it's okay, some of it, you know. But that's, you know, that's basically mine. I mean, I was just, as soon as I saw Kiss, I was, I'm going to do that, you know. And it's been ever since, so.
I was listening to whatever I could find on my parents' cassette tapes, so a lot of the times, I mean, I would listen to Tom Petty and Melissa Etheridge and The Who, Beatles, whatever they had lying around, and eventually I discovered the harder edge stuff. I always loved AC/DC and Black Sabbath, and they had albums from them, and I would listen to those. I would listen to tapes.